EMTV Journalists recognized by United Nations. Hoskins Airport project delivered. Good-hearted PNG citizens shaving in the fight against cancer.
This is National MTV News with Mary Bartolo.
Thanks for joining me with Friday's news. Good evening. United Nations Women Office in PNG has recognized MTV journalists Deborah Pranis and Florence Jonduo for excellence in reporting on HIV and gender-based violence in Papua New Guinea. Both journalists were recognized for the reporting on MTV's Awesome 1M program, a 30-minute documentary that looks into social issues affecting ordinary Papua New Guineans.
The UN Women's Award is a joint initiative by UN Women and UN AIDS to recognize journalists who write stories on human rights. It is aimed at promoting the work of journalists who highlight the challenges and abuses ordinary Papua New Guineans face within their communities and from the people they call family.
Now, the awards tonight will be presented to journalists who have demonstrated consistent excellence in reporting on these two issues. Journalists who have done more than just report on an event or who just gave us the statistics and facts.
Journalist Deborah Pranis received the first award. Ms. Pranis was acknowledged on a documentary she compiled on sorcery killings in the Highlands, an episode where she interviewed the family of a woman who was accused of practicing sorcery and killed.
Here in Papua New Guinea, where we are very private people, and it's difficult to open up and share your stories to other people, and especially the media. For these people that have gone through torture and have suffered a lot through sorcery accusation, it took them a lot of courage to come out and speak out about their issues.
Florence Jonduo, another journalist from the weekly program Awesome 1M, was recognized for a story on transgender issues male sex workers encounter on a daily basis, a sensitive issue that most people do not openly speak about.
And they told us the things that most of us don't know about. We just see them walking, and most of them, when they walk on the streets and all that, they get verbally abused and all that. So what we did was we wanted to bring and educate the people that they're human beings like us and we are all born equal in dignity and rights. So
Post Courier's Abraham Avidiba, a lay-based journalist, took out the third award for a piece he wrote on a male sex worker.
Trying to use the right term and trying to figure out how best I could approach these people, considering the fact that the issue itself is quite a sensitive one.
The recognizing of journalism work in PNG, unlike other professions, is rare, and these awards are predicted to boost journalists' morale and encourage them to continue to report on HIV and gender-based violence issues within PNG and the Pacific.
But tonight, UN Women and UN AIDS, which are two separate agencies but which work closely together in the UN system in Papua New Guinea, have decided to honour the journalists and the media people here in Papua New Guinea for what is often an outstanding coverage of these two major issues of HIV and AIDS and gender-based violence.
Takla Gunga, National MTV News.
The El Nino situation is weakening, giving Port Moresby some hope of seeing a few showers during the festive season. According to the National Weather Office, the El Nino that caused a dry spell over the southern parts of the country has now reached its peak, and a likely break in the weather is expected soon. It is anticipated that some showers and thunderstorms are expected over the weekend. According to the weather forecast for Port Moresby, showers are expected from the 11th of December right through to the 4th of January 2016. The El Nino-induced drought has taken a serious toll on the people living in the Sambarigi Valley in the Southern Highlands province. They have not had any rain or water since April this year due to the extreme weather that's currently affecting the country. But Oil Search came to their aid this week, delivering much-needed food supplies to the people of Poabi village in the Sambarigi Valley.
Samberigi Valley in the Southern Highlands province was not immune to the effects of the El Nino situation experienced in many parts of the country. But thanks to companies like Oil Search, the people of Powabi village are able to have access to much-needed food supplies. The donation to the Powabi people is part of Oil Search's drought relief assistance for communities where the company operates in the 3 provinces of Hela, Southern Highlands and Gulf. The drought relief effort started in Kutubu and Hides 2 weeks ago with the distribution of rice bags, tinned fish and noodles to begin with. The Oil Search Drought Initiative will cover 94 villages and reach more than 27,000 people in the 3 provinces. A woman leader in the community said the valley has not seen rain since April and cocoa gardens have dried up. People here not only rely on its rivers to wash, drink, cook and do laundry, but also to prepare their sago. What used to be an easy chore with the river located right next to their village has become a tiresome task, having to walk long distance to fetch water in the thick jungle away from their village or pay 10 kina PMV fare to travel further away in search of sago. Oil Search Community Affairs Manager Paul Sapake told the villagers that as a member of that community, Oil Search was aware of their situation and was happy to assist in their time of need. Deli Waigeno, National EMTV News.
Founding father of Papua New Guinea, Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare, who was present during the Ombudsman Commission establishment in 1975, says the PNG Constitution is sacred and must remain so. Sir Michael was a guest speaker at the Ombudsman Commission's 40th anniversary dinner last night. He has been in politics for almost 50 years.
In 1967, Grand Chief was among the few political minds who believed PNG needed to become an independent state and thus formed Pangu Party. The significance of this coalition led to a 7-year process of establishing the PNG 1975 Constitution that paved the way forward to gain independence.
At the time, we as indigenous leaders were concerned primarily with our decolonization and self-determination.
In 1975, after independence, the Ombudsman Commission was established in accordance with the Constitution. The National Assembly believed there was a needed organization that would specialize in monitoring and enforcing measures of accountability in both the public sector and political heads.
Checks and balances are essentially in any democracy, and throughout the last 40 years, Ombudsman Commission has been relevant and indiscriminate in its role to ensure accountability, good conduct, practice, especially among elected representatives of this country.
Grand Chief believes that political heads should honor their words and take ownership of their actions. Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. Kind-hearted citizens shaving heads for fight against cancer and more local stories. That's after the break. Welcome back to the news. The national government has successfully delivered another high-impact project, the new Hoskins Airport and Terminal building in West New Britain Province. This project, jointly funded by the national government and the Asian Development Bank, cost 78.4 million kina and aims to improve the transport infrastructure sector. The project was implemented by the National Airports Corporation and commissioned today. Fabian Hakalitz files this report from Kimbe.
Yes, the new terminal facility is another milestone achievement in the transport infrastructure sector. It will contribute significantly to the country's economic growth. Today, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill officially opened the new terminal facility, the new Hoskins Terminal of West New Britain Province. They danced, they sang, they chanted, celebrating the opening of the new Hoskins Airport and Terminal building. For West New Britain, this is an early Christmas present. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill thanked the stakeholders under the watchful eyes of the National Airports Corporation as implementing agency for successfully delivering this project.
Air services are very vital for making sure that our people have access to services. That is why we are focusing on some of these key infrastructures.
These modern facilities will boost West Britain's economic growth.
It is improving 21 national airports to help establish a sustainable civil aviation network which will be safer, more secure and efficient.
This province is moving ahead and we are excited with the new developments taking place in this province. Just to give you an overview of current progress, in addition to Hoskins Airport development, there are other infrastructure developments taking place in West New Britain.
Now, West New Britain is known as the oil palm province of Papua New Guinea. It has contributed significantly to the country's economic growth. Now, Governor Sasindran Mutuvel says the new terminal facility is vital for its economic growth. In Kimber, West New Britain province, Fabian Hakalitz, National EMTV News.
Radio great Turner Kasti Arifai was the first celebrity to begin the Shave, Trim or Dye Your Hair cancer campaign organized by the Hospital Poroman Foundation. Shaving off his hair collects a sum of 20,000 kina for the fundraising campaign to assist cancer patients in the country. The major Shave, Trim or Dye Your Hair campaign will be held tomorrow in Port Moresby.
Maybe we could wear a wig for a month. Yeah. How about that? And we're hoping that, maybe some more can come forth and support him, bringing its target up to 20. That's what we are hoping for.
If you be online where you don't got see cancer and you be got way to walk about, go come, try go online walk at the same time. So suppose you can enough operation money, they'll give you more this last time, got second chance to walk about.
Only 9 of the 37 registered aid posts in the Yanguru Sausia district are operating. This has put pressure on nurses and health extension officers in the 4 health centres in the electorate. Kubalia Health Sub-Centre HEO Glenys Wapmi says they need new staff to fill up nursing positions in aid posts.
In the last 30 years, 28 registered aid posts in the electorate have closed down and only 9 are operating. Only 32 health workers are stationed in 9 of the existing aid posts and 4 health centres, serving the entire population in the electorate. Health workers, especially nurses, have abandoned them to work elsewhere in light of poor infrastructures and lack of financial support that past leaders have offered.
Lo government health facility, you get 18 pla workman. Now lo chat self services, you get 14 pla. Plenty aid posts, lo district, you been closed and run down. That's all true. The development plans for member Blomipla, Emi working Molupla facility.
Glenys Wapmi, the health extension officer of Kubalia Health Centre, says despite the recent announcement by the Personal Management Department for improved allowances for nursing officers, manpower will remain low.
As the DPM have offered positions that does not include all the registered aid posts, we will still remain with manpower shortage, maybe until the next restructure process.
Now with the new leadership, the District Development Authority have paid school fees for tertiary students attending universities and colleges with the aim to get them back to work in the electorate. Recently, 4 local women graduated with bachelor's degree in nursing at the Pacific Adventist University. Local MP Richard Maru, when opening the new aid post at Munji, told people that the district administration will pay for nursing positions and appeal to health workers to take up postings in Yanguru Sausia.
And I want to assure you, my people, that district will write a check to the provincial government or provincial administration and pay for all these positions. So your job is to go and look penny workman made in a Kareka.
Quinton Alomp, National EMTV News.
Yanguru Sausia MP Richard Maru has thrown his support behind the removal of grade 8 and 10 examinations, but says it has to be planned properly. Maru says the idea is good, but it will also put a strain on high school teachers as well as school infrastructure.
The upgraded system by the Education Department means that all students will go through to grade 12, but this may have complications with schools' infrastructure that may result in overcrowding in high schools. Yanguru Sausia MP Richard Maru says this can put a strain on government's budget and needs to be planned properly.
By no more grade 10 exam, everybody goes all the way to grade 12. And by serious problem, classroom where? Teacher where?
To achieve this, more classrooms, dormitories and high school teachers are needed, which is yet another burden. Many districts will face issues accommodating this new policy. However, in Yangru, South Sea, the administration is proposing 2 new high schools to cater for this.
So we are now working towards building na finishing of Yangru High School, and then we will find a no more number of working in high school. So the money come through by that space for Yumilong district.
Work has already commenced on the new West Yangru High School, built near Nambari and Nindipole villages.
Since no go high school in West Yangru, so this is the only high school now Minister funding.
Few primary schools in the electorate have been upgraded to accommodate this policy next year. Quinton Alom, National EMTV News.
To a story of independence and self-reliance, students in Kabum District's Sikam Primary were taught in classrooms built from bush materials before the school closed over 3 months ago due to the drought. The roof of 3 buildings are covered in plastic. The district authority has made funding commitments, but the parents contributed to build the school. Bethany Herman with this report.
Sikam village is about 3 kilometers from Konge Airstrip. As you descend down the valley community, you see newly established Sikam Primary School. The primary school was closed early when students reportedly fainted from the heat during the dry spell.
Olbin Sanablo Assembly, maybe 5 or 6 plus students all been around.
Rauke Samangao is a Sikam villager, parent and a board member of the school. He explains that the Kabum district has been making commitments to help the school, but the parents had contributed to have the school built and in operation since 2012.
Okay, papa ma long place, mi pla struggle na mi pla building all this pla bus material classroom, mi pla small plastic, mi pla like repair all this classroom, but sun, wind, au geta plastic and been buru all geta.
People in Kabum, like many other districts around the country, haven't received their full district funding from the national government. The Sikam people are like any other rural Papua New Guinean across the country. They are resilient, self-reliant and independent. They understand that the Kabum district can only do so much as the funds being allocated by the national government. So they're building their own primary school. 3 kilometers away, the Konga people are also doing the same, but they are building a secondary school with little district administration support. The construction of Komba Secondary School has been put on hold till funds are available.
On man now, only give him support long, only give him DIY nothing, only give him all gravel nothing, make him all something. So, member Lumipla last 2-3 months ago, I can give 100,000 Lumipla.
Only 100,000 kina out of the 500,000 kina commitment has been paid to the new Komba Secondary School. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV News, Leh.
The government invests roughly 110,000 kina each year per TVET student shortlisted to study in Australia under the TVET SS program, according to Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology Acting Secretary David Kavanamur. This year's batch of TVET SSP Certificate 3 graduates in automotive mechanical technology could not have proven more that they were worth the investment. Mark McCarthy, Regional Manager of TAFE Queensland International, described the graduation as uniquely historic. Melisi Govviro reports.
2015 Certificate 3 graduates of the TVET Skills Scholarship Program have set a new benchmark for TVET students both in Australia and Papua New Guinea. They have graduated with 0 dropouts as opposed to the 25% burnout. Quite an extraordinary and historic achievement for Papua New Guinea.
I represent all of the TAFEs in Queensland for international education. We have students that come from 102 countries and they study automotive and they study engineering and a few other things. Thousands of students are coming from around the world to do those programs. It takes them 2 years to do what you've done in 30 weeks.
According to the automotive teacher Ken McQuarrie, theirs was not an easy journey. They had their disagreements, they faced many challenges, but managed to come out with flying colours.
There was homesickness, obstacle, just, it's a long way to be away from home, so a lot of them did get a bit emotional towards the end of the program, Yeah, so they were the few main obstacles. Other than that, the course runs smoothly, and they all should be credited and pat each other on the back, as they did earlier, for such a 100% pass rate in this first time ever pioneering field of Certificate 3 in automotive and engineering.
Is there anything else you'd like? Professor Kavanamur challenged the TVET institutions and PNG especially to give more focus to identifying skills that needed to be developed in cooperation with industries, the Ministry of Labour, the Industrial Relations and research institutions to optimize quality student output.
To minimize its dependency on minerals and petroleum and develop its manufacturing services, agriculture, forestry, fisheries and ecotourism sectors. The country therefore must develop the necessary skills, knowledge and innovation to achieve this economic shift.
Graduates say, having completed these courses in TAFE, Queensland, they feel they have met these requirements and were ready for the workforce.
Now I can feel that I'm confident and I'm competent. Same as those other 30 students there, they are competent to do anything, any job. So I'll say that this project is a fantastic project that the country offers to our next generation.
Melissa Govira, National EMTV News.
Ecotourism Consultancy Services Director Francis Stephen said Papua New Guinea's multi-million kina ecotourism sector needs a market to sell PNG's artifacts overseas. Stephen said this during an ecotourism training workshop conducted in Port Moresby to educate people on its importance. Eric Haurupma with this report.
The ecotourism training conducted in Port Moresby yesterday emphasizes the need for these participants to venture into the tourism sector. Ecotourism Consultancy Services Director Francis Stephen said, with PNG's diverse cultural heritage, marketing these products overseas is the main challenge.
The tour operators around the country, they're selling the product which I own and I don't know the pricing. They sell it based on the pricing, selling to the world market.
He encouraged local entrepreneurs to have partnerships with government organizations like Office of Arts and Culture, Tourism Promotion Authority, and will open doors to market these artifacts.
It has to be more or less put in place of people participating in their own vicinity in terms of product identification. Product identifications, it all depends on training, one. Two, it all depends on the involvement of the policymakers.
He said participants should embrace their traditions and cultures by living a village life that will attract more tourists to enjoy the essence of PNG's organic cultures. Wata Vanwa, trainee and resort owner from Aroma in the Central Province, said he was privileged to undergo this training from which he had acquired new ideas and skills to support his business.
Mipla been looking plan something display me opening tintin blom mipla na kerapim tintin blom mipla.
Another trainee, Benjamin Pokarop from Manus Province, said he was very fortunate to receive this training to understand more about tourism industry.
Entrepreneurs lo looking wonem only can work in comparison longan na kisim straight all this la or product ya blow inside straight blow place na you can sell him potentially stop.
PNG Ecotourism Director Stephen Francis said it is important to showcase our cultural identities overseas. This is by creating markets that would allow Papua New Guineans to market their products. Those who turned up at the ecotourism training have representatives from the islands, Momasai and Southern region. Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
And now a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.3350 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3275 US, $0.4476 Australian dollars, $0.2961 euro, and 39.54 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa and copra closed the day lower. Crude oil and copper closed lower, while palm oil closed the day higher. And on the stock markets, the Dow Jones closed 82 points higher, the ASX closed 43 points lower, and the All Ordinaries closed 42 points lower. Here with Friday's news, Central Transport Authority putting smiles on children's faces at Port Moresby General Hospital and kindling a spirit of adventure. Those stories and more when we come back. Welcome back to the news. Rigo District is celebrating the opening of the new Hood Point Day High School at Hula Village. Central Province Governor Kila Hauda officially opened the new high school, ensuring the people that classes will commence next year for grades 9 and 10 students. UPNG journalism student Willie Lovai with this report.
Hula Village is located at the end of the Rigo Highway in the Central Province, and as of yesterday is now officially home to the second day high school in the Rigo Coast. Communities around Rigo District came together during the Allen Jones Primary School graduation in celebration of achievement and development. Head teacher Henry Carajo said the graduation marked a very significant milestone for Hula Village, as it was also the launching of the new high school.
Hula citizens, PNC and friends, we should be proud that this is a big school in our district and in our province. We should be very proud of it.
Yesterday also saw the opening of a double classroom, a teacher's house, and a ablution block donated by USAID. 100,000 kina was donated last year by Central Province Governor Kila Hauda, and during his keynote speech, Governor Hauda thanked the school board for being true to the cause.
We are doing this for your children, we care for your children, we care for tomorrow, we care for 10 years' time.
Governor Hauda officially opened the Hood Point Day High School and reassured the people that he had more planned for the years to come. Students graduating from Allen Jones Primary will not have to go far, as next year classes for grade 9 and grade 10 will commence at the new Hood Point Day High School. Willie Lovai, National EMTV News.
The restructure of the police command will see previously known Momase split into two separate commands, Momase and Border Commands. Momase will include Eastern Highlands as well as Lame Metropolitan, Morobe and Madang. The Border Command will be responsible for East Sepik, Sundown, Western and Gulf provinces.
Outgoing ACP Momase Nema Mondiai has now taken over the eastern part of the island's region command. He will be responsible for Western Islands, Jiwaka and Chimbu provinces.
I think they have their own problems there. Sometimes it is unique, especially with the trouble fights and stuff like that.
Taking over from Mr. Mondiai's role, Peter Guinness will now be responsible for the Lame Metropolitan, Morobe and Madang commands. Donald Yamasombi will be responsible for East Sepik, Sundown, Western and Gulf provinces.
They're basically put together to form the new command because of the fact that what happens on those two provinces right at the border with Indonesia spills over into the two neighboring provinces.
Deputy Police Commissioner Administration Rafael Uafolo says the changes are in line with the modernization program in the police department. And it is vital that all officers around the country understand the changes that have to be made, saying the department needs to meet the policing demands in the country, especially at the senior command level.
I think we are making an important start.
This is the first step taken by the management level in addressing the policing demands in the country. This is an important start for the police department in building back the public confidence that had been lost. Mata Luis, National EMTV News, Ley.
Simbu Provincial Police Commander Albert Belli says there is an increase in highway accidents at night. In the last month, many have died on the highway in nighttime accidents. Over the weekend, Simbu Police secured a PMV bus that plunged off the road in Chuave. The driver was killed and the passengers suffered serious injuries. PPC Belly says while passengers complained about the constant roadblocks stopping night travel, it is being done to protect them. He called on operators to stop their bus drivers and give them time to rest before traveling again. Beauty queens of the Pacific Islands have taken on the spirit of adventure with a visit to an island called Ngapu Toru in the Cook Islands. Chairman of the Miss Pacific Islands, Dr. Sailele Malialagoi, said although the Pacific comprises of small island developing states, the region is home to unique islands and a vast area of ocean that's significant on a larger scale. The pageant participants also have a role in advocating for sustainable development objectives with presentations on topics of climate change, education and technology.
The 8 contestants of the Miss Pacific Islands pageant are preparing for the opening night and talent section of the pageant this Friday and crowning night on Saturday. The Miss Pacific Islands pageant participants include Miss Solomon Islands Deanne Enoch, Miss Samoa Ariana Taufao, Miss Tonga Brittany Fuimaono, Miss Fiji Zaira Beg, Miss American Samoa Suluga Taliao, Miss Niue Elaine Karena, and Miss Cook Islands Felicia George. As part of the week-long program, the contestants visited the office of the Cook Islands Prime Minister, a sponsor for this year's pageant. Aligned with this year's theme, Our Spirit of Adventure, the 8 Pacific Beauties departed Rarotonga for a full-day excursion of the Ngapu Toru, or the 3 South Sister Islands, about 45 minutes flight away. Purely exotic and undiscovered, coupled with the warm greetings and hospitality of the locals, it was truly an experience. A highlight was the visit to the schools, where the ladies were inspired by the excitement shown by the students through their songs and dances. This year's pageant is also part of the annual celebration commemorating 50 years since the Cook Islands became a self-governing nation. The winner of the Miss Pacific Islands pageant will be crowned on Saturday, the 12th of December. Deli Waigeno, National MTV News.
You're with National MTV News. Coming up next, Sports Minister disappointed with Mal Meninga's decision, and that's in Trukai Sports. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Sports Minister Justin Chichenko is disappointed over Mal Meninga's move to coach the Australian Kangaroos. He says it would have been best if Mal informed the PNG Rugby Football League board and himself as the minister responsible for sports. Mr. Chichenko hopes a suitable candidate is chosen for the Kumul's top job.
Sports Minister Justin Chichenko wants the drama surrounding Mal Meninga's move to the Kangaroos settled once and for all. Although acknowledging Mal's contribution to rugby league in PNG, he is very much disappointed in the manner in which it was executed.
For Mal Meninga now to be taking up the role as the Australian coach for rugby league, I am, yes, a bit disappointed with the way this has been handled by Mal Meninga. I would have preferred more consultation from the PNG Rugby League with Mal Meninga and myself as Sports Minister, because it was a combined effort of all of us to bring him here and to make him promote rugby league and get it out of the mismanagement and doldrums that it was in before.
He says Mal cannot hold 2 coaching jobs and must tender his resignation as the Kumul's coach. He wants a proper process and consultation followed by all stakeholders to ensure the Kumul's top job is secured.
Now that he is the Australian coach, you can't be coaches of 2 countries. It's as simple as that. And he's now chosen Australia under a new contract and agreement. So the only thing that he needs to do now is resign as the coach of the Kumuls and move on.
Though speculations have emerged about Wayne Bennett being the likely replacement, Chichenko believes it is time a Papua New Guinean takes on the role. He has tipped out Hunters coach Michael Marum, but it is up to PNG RFL to decide.
I think Michael Marum has proven himself already, and it'll be great to see a Papua New Guinean in that leading role.
There are exciting times ahead for the PNG Kumuls with the 2017 World Cup, and Chachenko has given his support to ensure the Kumuls are given priority. Mickey Cavera, National, MTV Sports.
Former PNG Hunters halfback Roger Laka has officially retired from rugby league. Laka will not retire from the sport fully. Instead, he will be going on board as the newest Hunters assistant coach and trainer. Hunters coach Michael Marum says he is happy to have Laka assist him as he knows the game quite well, so he should bring some experience to the 2016 season. The Hunters are currently in camp at the IPA College in Port Moresby. With the 2016 Rio Olympic Games on the horizon, PNG shooters are planning to attend various international events early next year to meet the minimum qualifying scores to qualify for the Olympics. The pistol team will have to travel to Bangkok, and for the shotgun teams to Cyprus for the World Championship, where they are hopeful of qualifying. Shane Saroya reports.
The shooting team have to meet the minimum qualifying score to qualify for Rio. Having fallen short to qualify in a recent championship, the stakes are higher with slim chances to make the cut.
For shooting, our selection is really quite simple. It's all about the scores, and of course the highest scoring shooters are given preference.
To get to the Commonwealth Games level and the highest standard of competition, it takes a lot of commitment, sacrifice and a lot of training to be done. And Rio 2016 is no exception.
That traveled overseas and what we call the elite squad, there was only 4 of us. And to actually have a development squad of 10 is a big plus. It's certainly a big change.
However, the team is slowly building momentum, and with potential medal contenders in the likes of Angus Donald, Darcy Lay and veteran top shooter Denny Wanma.
But this time around we have a lot of young shooters, which I'm very excited about, and certainly the dedication is there. And we have some old shooters or people from the earlier years that are still showing some very good interest in the sport. Certainly, I mean, Danny Wanma has been a member of the squad since 1990s.
And also Tanya Myrie, who started shooting in just over a year and has done extremely well in the Pacific Games, winning gold and silver. Her younger brother, Sibona Myrie, also exceeded expectations with his performance in the recent international events.
Very excited about the future. We have got very good assistants and certainly a lot of good people that are helping us. The police commissioner, obviously, firearms headquarters, and the PNG Olympic Committee, and not only that, the sponsors.
With the future looks promising, the Olympics could be the stepping stone for PNG shooters to shine on the world stage. Shane Saroya, National, MTV Sports.
Don't go away, Trukai Sports continues after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. PNG Muay Thai fighter Lee Flash Garup is on a quest to creating history in the world sport of Muay Thai. He has been given the opportunity to contest all 3 world welterweight Muay Thai titles on offer. That dream can become a reality if he secures the sponsors needed to stage the fight in PNG next year.
Lee Garup and Rickson Yamo are 2 Muay Thai fighters on a mission to fight in the pro world welterweight title, and they are one step closer with the support of 15,000 kina each.
So we are putting our hands up as the municipal government to support him so that he can maintain his title and promote this sport, and at the same time promote PNG as well, because through people like Lee Garup, we promote the potential of our young people, promote our country, and give a positive image to our country and our people.
NCD Governor Puis Pakup says the Sports Enhancement Fund will be fully utilized for sports development in the city. He says it is a pathway to create opportunities for young people to develop social attribute and character.
Here in the city, we take sports seriously. We are not like the provinces where they have got a different pathways or a lot of options to offer young people towards a positive future. Here we have limited resources limited opportunity, and we try to be innovative about how we can provide a pathway for young people.
Sports Minister Justin Chachenko was pleased with the efforts of the two fighters. He says PNG has world-class facilities to cater for international sporting events and can accommodate for the pro world welterweight title fight.
Great allocation of funds to these two guys, especially when we've got two PNG champions that can really make our country look big and better through the name of sport and, of course, kickboxing and the sport that they play.
Flesh Muay Thai PNG promoter Jerry Sarufa says a total of 250,000 kina is needed to stage the fight in PNG next year.
Looking to ask corporate sponsorships to come on board, corporate sponsors to come on board, because this fight alone is not just creating a milestone out in the art of Muay Thai here in the country, but also internationally, where you have Lee, who's about to become the #1 recognized Muay Thai fighter with 3 different world titles, which is very difficult to have in the art of Muay Thai in the world. Yeah.
Mickey Cavera, National EMTV Sports.
That's how we end the sports segment, but don't go away. All the important weather details after the break. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports.
Look at the weather for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Port Moresby, cloudy periods with a chance of showers. And that's all the news we have for tonight. On behalf of the news team, have a safe weekend. Good night.